Hello. Today we're going to visit with Mr. Gordon Yellowman, a traditional chief of the Cheyenne Nation. Gordon, thank you so much for agreeing to come and visit with us and to participate in this course, Native Peoples of Oklahoma. Could we start out by having you talk just a little bit about yourself to provide a little bit of your biography or history for the students?
Sure. Well, my name is Gordon Yellowman Sr. My Cheyenne name is Hahiwayano, which means yellow hawk. I got that name from my grandfather, who's a descendant of Bear's Lariat. And of course, he was at 1864 Sand Creek massacre. And so we have a long lineage of traditional chiefs, leadership. Being a chief, Kamet Siva was my great-great-grandfather, who was also a chief at Sand Creek. So keeping in traditions of leadership, chieftainship among our family has been very alive in our family. And each generation, a family has created that leadership of becoming a chief. And so that role is really a tremendous responsibility, but it's also an honor. And so when I was selected at the age of 14 years old, I was really at that point beginning to really understand what leadership was. So as far as my biography and history, my experiences have led me to where I'm at today. I actually came to school here at the University of Oklahoma, and to continue my formal education. But my traditional knowledge and experiences of my life, I've been involved in the ceremonials, the Cheyenne ceremonials. I'm a Cheyenne Sundance priest. And so my father was also a Cheyenne Sundance priest. He was the chief priest for 35 years for the Cheyenne people. And so I had the greatest teacher in the world, my father, who gave me experience and knowledge about the ceremony itself, the sacred rituals. And so I continue to uphold that through the leadership, and as a Sundance priest, I have a right to conduct the ceremonies, run the ceremony itself, and that's quite an honor.
You know, I think that we use this term chief a lot. You know, it's used in a lot of different contexts, and I think that it would be good if we could help people to understand what is the role of a traditional chief in the modern day.
Well, the role of the traditional chief is the Cheyennes call him Veho, and Veho means leader. Veho means a role model, a man with high respect. And so he earns that respect from his people. And it's not just a title, a position, it's a title of leadership. And so when I was told what's the role of a chief, they give you special instructions when you're inducted into what we call the Council of 44 Chiefs, the peace chiefs of the Cheyenne. And so they give you an oath. It's sort of like a vow that you have to take. And so the ceremonial oath is very sacred. And so they tell you in that oath what you must do as a chief. One, you must always carry yourself with respect yourself as a leader, and respect your people most of all. And if you can do that, your people in turn will begin to respect you as well. So the role is to take care of your people, the orphans, the children, the babies, to the elders. Take care of them because you're responsible for their lives. Once you become a chief, they can come to you, ask you for help, whether it's monetary, spiritual, or just advice. And that's your role. It doesn't stop at 5 o'clock or begin at 8 o'clock. Your role is 24/7. And so you don't just stop and say, okay, I'm going to put this title away for the day, I'm through. They can come anytime ask for your guidance, ask for your prayers, ask for your help. And so when you take the pipe in your instructions at becoming a chief, you smoke on it, and you're accepting that responsibility as a leader. And one of the things that I learned in one of the chiefs when I was initiated, they said they're going to take this word no out of your vocabulary. You can no longer say no. You're going to have to help your people when they ask you. So you cannot turn your people down when they say, I need your help. And so that was one of the interesting ways of teaching me the concepts of responsibility and fulfilling your duty.
Do the Council of 44 meet and get together to discuss things, or?
Yeah, the council will meet annually at the ceremonies. They initiate new members. They'll bring in new members of the vacancies that may have been created because of chiefs that die, pass on. So they have to meet annually to fulfill the roles, the vacancies. And so the Council of 44 is made up of 44 chiefs. 40 of them are, I want to say, existing bands. And so there was, today's society, there's 4 bands that societies that remain. And so historically they would take 10 members out of each band to make up the 40 council. And the remaining 4 were Arapahoes, Arapaho chiefs. And that made your council 44. And so each member is, when you're placed in there, initiated, they give you instructions. And they tell you that you are not to get angry. They tell you you're not to get upset. And one of the things in the oath is if someone was to come harm your child, harm your loved one, even kill him or murder him, you are not to retaliate. You are to take your pipe and smoke it and pray for that person that did that. That's the hardest thing, because in today's society we have so much influence. We have so much society, cultural, and it's changed. And it's so fast today that there's little or no value in this society as far as traditions, as far as honor and respect. And so the people in the younger age, they don't understand that concept of a value. And so today, when you hear young kids, they may harm or kill another person that you may know. In our tradition, when a Cheyenne kills another Cheyenne, that's traditional law, and you will be banished from the tribe. And so today, we have to take our pipe and smoke and pray for those individuals that bring harm to us. And so the instructions given to you is you can't get mad. You smoke and pray for that person that did that. And the other one is you're responsible today. One of the things that the people talk about today, the older chiefs would always say, if someone was to come to take your wife away from you, then you are to let her go. And if she was to come back home to you, you are to take her back and pray for that person or that man that took her. In today's society, that's unheard of. If a person was to come and take your wife today, what would happen? You would go immediately and probably get angry at that person. You would probably cause harm against him, and so you would be have real harsh feelings. And so that's the way it worked in the past. So today there's a sort of a different perspective, and the culture changes as far as generation. And so they're not going to allow that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And so the mutual respect and understanding is, yeah, you achieve. But on the other side of it, when do you defend yourself as a person? And so those are the responsibilities they tell you. And that's what the Cheyenne chiefs, they say, it's a hard road, it's a hard way to live. And you were selected to live that way. And they tell you, if you don't want to take this chieftainship, you're free to go back out that door. And so when we meet, we talk about those values. We talk about those responsibilities. We select individuals in the communities. We look at them and we watch them for a year or two and say that person will make a good chief because he's there helping his people all the time. And so people will see you helping in the community, the way you carry yourself, the way you live, and the way you do things for the best interest of your people.
Oh, thank you very much, Gordon. I appreciate you sharing that with us.
Naha ne, piva, haho.